certainly a disappointing result. I think we shot ourselves in the foot with the chances that we missed in the first half. That didn't allow us to play with momentum or with a lead, and and then in the second half, 10-15 minute stretch there where our decision making on a couple plays that opened up the space in behind for them to expose us was the difference. So, they won the boxes tonight, and that was the difference.
Pat, it seemed like you guys were caught out on all 3 goals.
Mm-hmm.
Was it part of your intent, maybe on the first and the second goal by Chicago, to get guys in the back line forward, or were they just simply out of position?
Yeah, I got to look back at them. I think we were late to release on a couple of those moments that, when we had the release off the back line. I don't know if the cover was good, but I also don't know if the release needed to happen that allowed them to expose that space behind. So
I know everything's super raw right now. You just stepped off the field, but you can look back at the last 10, 12, 2-week, that busy period for you guys. Do you think the wear and tear of that, the travel, 2 West Coast trips, do you see that manifest itself at all tonight?
I think it could have played a role with the quick turnaround, but I still thought the energy was pretty good. I thought the way in which we got to goal, again, I think if we finish these plays, maybe we're not talking about, the wear and tear of the schedule and the travel, but, maybe that was the difference in the decisiveness and the quality with the final pass, the final shot, the final decision.
And I think regardless of whether or not you guys clinched tonight, you would have been jockeying for seeding next week. So everyone goes into the match knowing it's important next week as well. Their availability is important. How disappointed were you with the fracas there at the end and just everything that went down?
Yeah, I think it was just a poorly managed game that allowed for things to play out at the end the way they did. But, I think we can certainly handle ourselves better to make sure we're walking off the field with 11 guys. But, certainly something we'll have to take a look at to see how we could be a little bit more composed in that final stretch.
Some of the other results that might have made an impact on clinching tonight, if your result went the other way, didn't really go your way. The table's pretty tight. What's the message to the guys? I don't know if you've looked at it yet, but just it's going to come down to decision day. So,
yeah, I think that's because we weren't able to take care of business tonight, but we got to go win a game. I think we still have the understanding of the importance of where we're at, and teams still chasing us, which is good. But we let one get away tonight, and now we have to go and win a game and not think about any other game other than our own. And I think if we have the right mentality and we take some things from this game that we can improve on in that last matchup against DC and look at some of the things I thought we did really well, we'll have a mentality that'll have us prepared to go get a result.
Do you take any positives out of the 2 late goals? Was it just, obviously too little too late, but do you take anything from that? And what do you think was it just that sense of urgency that?
It's just a group that doesn't quit. I think you see that. We're down 3-0 at home, and guys were pushing to get something out of the game. So that's certainly a positive that they kept trying to find ways to get ourselves back into the game. And, the 2 goals are certainly a positive. But, it's just a little too much to overcome with the hole that we put ourselves in.
All right, we'll go to Joe.
Pat, I'm just curious, as a competitor, moments like this, when you are trying to clinch and, now it's coming down to the one game, how much as a competitor do you look forward to moments like this, to have the chance that you guys have now in front of you?
Well, we'd certainly like to have, won a game today that maybe doesn't put us in a position where, you have to go and win a game. Having said that, a night like tonight where you get to play to position yourself to clinch a playoff spot is what it's about. And we have another game to do that next weekend. It's disappointing for our fans tonight that we couldn't reward all of their support in that final home game to enjoy the moment together. So now we have to go and do a job in D.C., and I don't think it would be too difficult to get up for this game, despite this result.
Pat, real quickly, in what respects did you think the game was poorly managed by the referees that let it get to that point? Was it? I noticed early on the sideline it seemed like you were gesturing a lot when Chicago was slow to restart.
Right.
Was that part
That
of
was
it?
part of it. You know, again, I don't want to get too much into this because it's on us that we didn't get the result. It was just things build when moments early on aren't handled the right way, and again, the result wasn't because of the officiating. It was our own performance and lack of execution in the boxes. But you know, in regards to that, that's what I mean by poorly managed is how you see tempers flare for both teams at the end of the game in a way where it just gets a little out of control.
Last one, Laurel.
Was there anything about the way Chicago played that surprised you? What did you see from them that you feel like kind of enabled
We knew
them?
they have quality. I think you could see that they do have guys that can move the ball. You get Mueller in isolation. He's a aggressive 1v1 attacker. I thought Duran was a real handful. Putting the goals aside, which were good finishes, his hold-up play and his ability to get his teammates into the attacking half of the field and facing goal was what caused us the most problems tonight. So I thought he had a really strong game, and it was tough for us to minimize the amount of times that he could get with his back to goal and allow guys to get moving forward, and then with his power and movement in behind, that caused us some problems too.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.